Hey everybody, it's Mobius Y here with a video. Yeah, I know I disappeared there for the last 2 months there with nothing uploaded to YouTube, and I haven't really streamed or anything either. And that's mostly because I haven't played World of Tanks console or Mass Effect Andromeda since mid-December or even earlier, so I can't really make videos on games that I'm not playing. So, anyways, this little video is basically just a little update that's going to be going over my thoughts and plans for the future, especially my intentions for 2019. And while I ramble on here, I did a very short stream that was only about an hour off of my PS4 just last weekend while I was playing some Shadow of the Colossus. So gameplay of that game is going to be going on in the background while I babble on about some bullshit. So hopefully this gives you an idea of what I'll be doing in the future and intrigues you to stick around and watch my future content. So a couple changes to the channel. I have changed the name of the channel. That's probably the first thing that you noticed when you popped in here because I'm not really focusing on World of Tanks console or Mass Effect Andromeda anymore, and I'll get a little bit more into both of those later on in this video. I've also changed my Twitter handle. It's no longer Mobius_Y_WOT. It's just Mobius_Y_games. And I've fixed the Twitch link at the front of my channel. And I'll be changing the Twitch links to some of my... my Twitter links to some of my more popular videos as well as my more recent ones. And any that I upload from here on out will have the correct Twitter link in the description below, as I always put it in my videos. So if you would still like to follow me on other social media outlets, as I said, with Twitter, sometimes I post stuff like what's going through my mind or what I have planned for the short term on my Twitter. Check the link in the description below and give me a follow. I'm also going to see about changing my Twitch URL so that it is easier to find my streams. Right now it's a little too different from my YouTube channel name, in my opinion, as it's essentially my old gamer tag on my Xbox Live account that I was forced to change because it was considered inappropriate. It differs too much from my Mobius Y moniker, so I'm going to see about either changing that or maybe just making a brand new Twitch channel to not necessarily start from scratch, but just something that'll be more beneficial for people to use. So those are the main channel updates that I wanted to go over, so do be aware of that, please. For future content, Anthem. This is a game that's coming out fairly soon, and I have been keeping an eye on it for quite some time. Mostly because I'm quite a bit of a BioWare fan. I love Mass Effect. It's my favorite game series. I love the first Dragon Age. And I love Knights of the Old Republic, for example. Tonight I'll be streaming the open demo. I'll be live by 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I might be starting a little bit earlier than that, but you can check the link in the description below to go straight to my Twitch channel. I'll also probably do some streaming tomorrow on this Saturday, and then I'll upload a video on Sunday with my impressions on the demo. I've been on the fence about buying Anthem for a long time, and that's mostly because I don't really like looter games. I had more than enough of that kind of game mechanic where you go assault a boss over and over and over and pray you get a better piece of equipment than you already have, just so that you can then equip said better piece of item and then go back to assaulting that same boss on a slightly harder difficulty over and over and over and over until you get even better equipment. I'd had enough of that with Diablo 2 from way back in like 2000 and 2001, so looter games don't really cut it for me. I don't really find that kind of looping gameplay very fun. And that is a large part of what Anthem looks like it's going to be, so I'm kind of on the no side, largely because of that. And also because the game that Anthem mostly gets compared to, which is Destiny, it left a very bad taste in my mouth way back in the day. Or just, almost 5 years ago. I found Destiny repetitive and boring, and with so much stuff that was missing from the game that Bungie had said that they planned to implement, I was extremely disappointed with Destiny. More so because Destiny was the reason I bought an Xbox One back in 2014. So it still kind of haunts me that Destiny was a huge waste of not just the $80 I paid to get the brand new game, but also the several $100s I spent to get a new Xbox One console. Also, the idea that Destiny was supposedly more fun with friends, honestly, I think that's a bullshit excuse for why any game isn't fun. A game should not require other players to be fun. For example, Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo 64. It is pretty dang fun with friends when you're beating the crap out of each other, but it's just as fun when you play by yourself. So I think the excuse that it's more fun with friends or it's only fun with friends is bullcrap, and it severely turned me off from Destiny. Also because I wasn't playing the game like crazy when it first came out, so my friends got way ahead of me when the game first came out. By the time they're already doing strikes because they have enough light to be level 30 and stuff, I'm still only halfway through the campaign. Also, the idea that you need the expansions to make Destiny a good game, that was another crock of BS in my opinion. I was not going to put more money into a game that I found so vapid and boring to try and make me enjoy it better. I had no intention of doing that. And Anthem reminds me a lot of Destiny. I'm really put off by the whole looter-shooter mechanics. Maybe with Anthem it'll be done more differently so that I could be more invested with it and actually find it far more enjoyable. But who knows? Also, certain things like the recent microtransaction quote-unquote controversy could mean the game doesn't sell well or is not well received and has few players. So even if I was to get invested in a game like that and start making content for even a year or two in a game like Anthem, it'd be really niche content yet again. I'm already a really niche kind of gamer. I avoid things that are just ridiculously popular. For example, PUBG and Fortnite. I have played PUBG on Xbox One. I will never touch Fortnite, and I haven't played PUBG in at least a year since I bought the dang thing. So, you know, on the positive side, there are things that do draw me towards Anthem. The big one being the idea of making different builds for your javelins and testing what's effective for high difficulty play. Or even just testing, you know, what's ridiculously fun but still effective. That is my main interest, because I did a lot of that with Mass Effect 3 multiplayer especially, but also a bit of Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer. I honestly could see myself spending hours creating crazy javelin loadouts with even some, you know, just amping up the power of the javelin so that doing one specific thing is super powerful, or even just putting silly stuff on the javelin to make it just a ridiculous kind of play style, and you know, just do something that people could thoroughly enjoy. So that kind of is my draw towards Anthem. Also the idea of being able to fly around the map for most of the time, going from point A to point B. While a lot of people could find that repetitive, after a while I could see myself just enjoying flying around and taking in the sights for, you know, many months to come. So I'll be giving the demo a shot tonight when I stream it. As I said, I'll be streaming at kind of around my usual 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So drop by tonight's stream to see me playing it on my PS4, and I will be streaming it again on Saturday as well to just get a better feel for how much I like it, as opposed to the 3 or 4 hours that I'll get in on Friday. So streaming again on Saturday should give me more time to delve into the world of Anthem by playing the demo. And I'll release a video Sunday with my impressions on the demo. This will also help finalize my decision as to whether I buy the game at launch or I wait a few weeks or a month after the game launches, which was actually my original plan, or if I skip the game entirely, depending on how I feel about the demo overall. So far, what I've seen of other people playing the demo, I do kind of like what I see, and some of the questions that I've asked and have been answered for me do have me leaning towards getting Anthem or having Anthem by launch. So if I do buy the game and I can get into the game enough, I can really invest myself in that game, invest a lot of time playing it, and invest time streaming and making videos for it. Anthem could very well become my main content focus for a while there. So moving on, I did mention streams, but also other things like Let's Plays. I do have ideas for at least 2 games that I'd like to make Let's Play series for this year in 2019. I'm not really going to say what they are specifically. There actually is a 3rd game that I wouldn't mind doing a Let's Play of, or especially streaming. Somebody from work bought Spider-Man for the PS4, and I've heard nothing but good things about that. And he gave me his disc copy, and he's not expecting it back anytime soon. So I am looking forward to playing it, but I also thought I could probably stream that and make video content on it. So I may resort to streaming various games more frequently than just my Tuesday and Friday streams for various Let's Plays, and then I could just upload the streams straight to YouTube. So I would like to start doing that. It would be another way to kind of put out more content for you guys if you like watching my stuff. Now, about World of Tanks console. I have not played it for almost 2 months. For starters, I don't find it fun anymore. But beyond that, recent events, particularly the Core Breach mech mode, is just further proof that the game developers don't care about fixing the problems and nuances that are driving players away from World of Tanks console. And it's more than just that. This game mode being released, and it's a complete far cry from what people expect for tanks. Most of the people that are going to try the Core Breach mode, they've downloaded World of Tanks because they are accustomed to tanks gameplay. None of them have played mech games before, like Mech Assault or Mech Wars, so it's totally new. And I'm seeing comments left and right that they just don't like how the game plays. I know for a fact that there are people who do like the Core Breach mode, but the odds of it being people that have never played the mech mode is have never played a mech style game in the past is extremely small. Most of the people who don't like it are those who want to play World of Tanks. So it's things like these gimmicky premium tanks, like an auto-loading T-32 or auto-loading Borsig. Also things like the Mercenaries tanks and premium Mercenaries tanks constantly being shelled out, and one-time game modes like this Core Breach mech mode, which is completely unrelated to tanks. These are just band-aids on old war wounds, trying to get people to keep playing the game. And it's just not working, and it has not been working for quite some time. And I do not understand why Wargaming Chicago Baltimore is not realizing this. Honestly, the development process does not care about long-term players or player retention unless those players are whales. That's why the premium tanks are constantly being released. That's why we're seeing premium mercenaries constantly being released now, because the ideas behind premium tanks that aren't just reskins has pretty much dried up. So unless players are whales, Wargaming Chicago Baltimore doesn't really give a shit about you. There it is. That's how I feel the game has gone. And I have addressed this game's many problems repeatedly for years. You can probably find my addressing some problems video from, I think it was, 2016? From back around the time that the Black Tanks fiasco happened. So we're talking 2-3 years ago. I was already citing issues that were coming up with the game, not necessarily bringing them up front, but saying, hey, these little things that have been happening recently are just minor things, but if the development continues down this road, this is going to be a serious problem. Excuse me, I don't know what that was. And longtime players like myself are just not going to be as interested in the game down the road, and it's not going to help retain newer players. It's not going to help keep them playing or possibly even keep them spending. It seems like back then when I was first bringing these issues up, nobody at the time really cared back then, but all of a sudden I'm seeing on the forums these days and on other people's YouTube channels, people are suddenly waking up to all these issues that I have been talking about for 2+ years at this point. But common players, the common player that actually leaves the game and goes to the forums or checks out people's YouTube or follows people on Twitter, it seems like most of them are all of a sudden just now waking up to all these problems and reciting the things that I have been saying for years now. So I do not see the game going anywhere good anytime soon. With that being said, I would like to finish the T57 grind, as I still have to do a review for the Tier 9, the T54 E1, and obviously the Tier 10 T57 Heavy, but I have no clue when that'll happen or if I'll even do it. So I'm just gonna say, don't have any expectations that you'll see that anytime soon. And it is still possible that I'll do things like tank reviews or the more in-depth kind of videos like that for World of Tanks console if I do find myself still going back and playing the game. But they will still happen extremely rarely. So I think it's pretty safe to say, if you are still subbed to my channel for World of Tanks console content, I'm probably not the channel for you anymore, because the game just no longer holds any interest to me whatsoever. So my feelings won't be hurt if you decide to move on, but if you give me a shot to stick around and see what I have cooking in the future, I would greatly appreciate that as well. Now, Mass Effect Andromeda. I haven't played Andromeda for at least a month, not since early January, actually. It takes forever for players to join my lobbies, and when I join other people's lobbies, the host just seems to have an awful connection, or I just have an awful connection with them, and it just causes obscene lag, so I have a huge difficulty playing. So it's at the current point in time, the last time I played, it was extremely frustrating. Because I was stuck playing by myself again, which isn't very fun, and I cannot play by myself when I'm trying to level a level 1 character. So I only have 3 characters left to level to 20 and make build guides for, so I would like to do those vids by spring and be quote-unquote done in my mind with that game. But as I have said in a previous video, in November, Andromeda's 2-year anniversary is coming up in a little less than 2 months here. By the time that rolls around then, I'm not using that as an exact timestamp, but around then, it could be, a month later, it could be a month earlier. I will no longer be making Andromeda videos, and I very likely won't be playing the game anymore either. So if you want to try to get a chance to play with me, by all means, send me a message on Xbox Live if you like, and see if I'm playing. It'd be nice to squad up with some people who are able to pull their weight and don't mind me trying to level some characters. I know it'd make things easier for me. Now, what I have been doing quite a bit lately, since I haven't been playing these other 2 games, World of Tanks Console and Andromeda, I have been playing quite a lot of Smite on both of my accounts, on my Xbox and my PS4. I have been playing a bunch of No Man's Sky on the PS4 as well, and I may do videos on that, but in terms of Smite, I've actually been playing Smite for like 3 years now. I may start making some videos on it, or make the occasional video on it, but they'll probably just be like really silly ones, since I mostly screw around in Smite. If I'm taking it seriously, even when I'm quote-unquote taking it seriously, sorry, I'm not really that invested in it. I'm not getting terribly emotional over it like I would for example, World of Tanks Console. So don't expect anything special if I do upload Smite videos. They'll probably just be some goofy videos showing off really dumb builds or really stupid things that have happened in games. And that about covers it. I think I've gone over all the talking points I wanted to go over in this kind of channel update video. So for you guys, my viewers, let me know what you think. I know some of you commented in my November video what you'd like to see me try, or also if you're itching for more World of Tanks console content, or if you just like my thoughts or how I approach certain games, how I like to delve into the game mechanics and learn as much as I can and pass on that knowledge to other players. Also, for the few of you that stick around for my Andromeda content, do you still play Andromeda? Do you still enjoy it? If you've watched my videos, did you find them helpful? And do you think my videos are a good template for future videos in other games, with a focus on trying to help other people get better and teaching other people various game mechanics as well as how they could do better in certain games? Because if I do get into a game like Anthem, which, as I said, it looks a lot like Destiny, but it has some very Mass Effect style effects to it. For example, the powers with cooldown and that kind of stuff. If you think I could have a similar approach to Anthem as I did with Andromeda, whether that would be useful, just let me know in the comments below, and I'd greatly appreciate that. So, yeah, I'll just let the gameplay in the background finish up here. Shouldn't be too much longer as I defeat this last Colossus here. Thanks very much for watching. This video definitely went a lot longer than I had wanted it to, so I do apologize for that. But I hope you have a much better idea of what I want to do and my not just my short-term goals, but my long-term plans for 2019, what I would like to do with this channel. So, as I said, if you would like to follow me on Twitter, check the link in the description below, and don't forget to check out my Twitch streams. Again, link is in the description below. I'll be playing some Anthem demo tomorrow and on Saturday, February 2nd, so drop by and watch me playing some Anthem. Once again, thank you very much. This has been Mobius Y, and I hope to see you again soon.